Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV. We're broadcasting live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and this is the news with me, Ansumane Sonyasi. Now, here are the main news headlines. As is now customary, the Gambia's Independent Electoral Commission on Wednesday briefed election observer groups accredited to observe the National Assembly elections on Saturday, April 9th. The Gambia Police Force, in partnership with the UNDP, is implementing a community policing strategy to promote relations with the public as part of its mandate to maintain law and order in the country. The University of the Gambia Nursing Students Association today joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Health Day. And the Dresden Banjul organization, a German non-governmental organization, handed over a multi-million dollars worth of waste collection equipment to the Brikama Area Council on Wednesday. And in sports news, we look at the many physical and health benefits of learning martial arts and how Farafenya Karate Club is faring amid numerous challenges. Stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. We will now take a look at the news in detail. Now, as is now customary, the Gambia's Independent Electoral Commission on Wednesday briefed election observer groups accredited to observe the National Assembly elections on Saturday, 9th April 2022. As Alucicia reports, the IEC chairman promises a credible election.
The briefing for these local and international election observers is to share the electoral body's level of preparedness and voting procedures. The observers will visit polling stations across the country to observe the electoral process on Saturday when Gambians vote in a parliamentary election. Ali Momar Njai, chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, gave assurances of the Commission's determination to oversee a free, fair and transparent election. He is impressed with the peaceful manner in which campaigns have been conducted. Public campaigns end at midnight on Thursday.
I would like to commend all candidates and political parties for their sense of responsibility in ensuring the conduct of peaceful campaign rallies and meetings across the country. I implore on all candidates and their supporters to maintain this momentum throughout the electoral process. The IEC has concluded training of all its polling staff, numbering about 6,000. And they are ready for deployment across the 1,055 polling stations in the Gambia. All electoral materials and equipment has also been fully deployed to all the regions.
The importance of security cannot be overestimated, and for this reason, Modu Sow, Deputy Inspector General of the Gambia Police Force, says security won't be compromised.
I will assure you that it's going to be one of the most peaceful elections ever to be witnessed in this country. On that note, I wish all of you a very successful and a very wonderful election.
At the conclusion of nomination on the 13th March, 251 candidates were accepted, but 5 have since withdrawn, leaving 246 as the final number of candidates. Of this number, 12 out of the 18 registered political parties put up candidates and 6 did not put up any candidate. 8 nomination papers were rejected by returning officers, while 3 cancelled their nominations. Of the accepted candidates, 85 are independent candidates, 19 are women, and 1 is living with disability. Sambu Jangjai, Chief Electoral Officer, clarifies that each contesting candidate is allocated a color different from fellow contenders in a given constituency.
You don't have 2 whites or 2 blacks for the same candidate in any constituency. But you may have black for a candidate in a constituency A, and in another constituency B, you have black. That can be done.
Polling stations open at 8 a.m. On arrival at the polling station, and after a person voter's card has been verified, he or she is directed to a secluded area to vote in one of a series of drums in the different candidates' colors. The voter then slots his or her marble into the drum of choice. A winner is determined on a first-past-the-post system, and counting is done on the spot, in the presence of agents after the close of polling stations, which is 5 p.m. The Commission said it had embarked on a series of voter registration sensitization exercise on the need to ensure peaceful conduct before, during, and after voting. The public is further urged to disregard all unofficial announcements aside from the Independent Electoral Commission. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliu Sise.
Well, we wish all Gambians a peaceful elections. Now, the Gambia Police Force, in partnership with the UNDP, is implementing a community policing strategy to promote relations with the public as part of its mandate to maintain law and order in the country. To enhance the implementation of the community policing strategy plan, the UNDP on Monday supported the police with a donation of 150 pedal bikes. Mohamed Lamin Choi reports.
The Gambia Police Force has the maintenance of law, peace and order as its key mandate. However, it is crucial to recognize that the police are part of and accountable to the community. This realization is indispensable for successful community policing. To enhance community policing, the United Nations Development Programme is supporting the Gambia Police Force with 150 bicycles. Aisha Ade is the UNDP country representative in the Gambia.
We engaged with the police a while ago, especially on community policing. And as I said, it's important to have closeness between the police and the population to strengthen and sustain peace and security. Because without security, you don't have development. And Gambia is thriving, although still in transition and many processes overlapping. Gambia has shown very good practices.
Community policing helps for a proactive crime detection, prevention and management that requires structures, processes and systems to be in place for responding to community problems. In community policing, the police are required to understand and deliver services that the community wants and is satisfied with based on its security priorities and in accordance with the rule of law. Mamadou Sow, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, thanks the UNDP for its support and outlines the significance of community policing.
There is no 100% security system. There is no security system that is 100% effective. But the one that enjoys the love and respect of its populace is the most effective. And that can only be attained through being accountable, responsive, determined, and coherent towards your service delivery systems.
The UNDP Gambia Police Force Community Policing Strategic Plan document identifies the reluctance of police officers to discard the traditional and reactive methods of policing as a major threat to successful implementation of community policing in the Gambia. Chief Superintendent of Police Lamin Jaite is the officer commanding the community policing unit of the Gambia Police Force.
Today in the Gambia, policing is anchored more on democratic policing. That is what we want to focus our attention on. How can that is what we are rolling, and then it is paying dividends. Democratic policing, and there are principles attached to that. One of the fundamental principles of democratic policing is adherence to the rule of law and respect for human rights and accountable. Police officers must be seen to be accountable in their dealings with members of the community.
Community policing formally began in the Gambia in 2003. In 2019, the UNDP and the Gambia Police Force initiated a partnership to institutionalize community policing with a strategic implementation plan. These new bikes, provision of more equipment to the police, plus refresher training on community policing provide the opportunity for democratic policing in the Gambia. This will reflect Sir Robert Peel's 9 principles of policing, which states that police are the public and the public are the police. Peel is credited with being the founder of the London Metropolitan Police Force and became known as the father of modern policing. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
The University of the Gambia Nursing Students Association today joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Health Day with the theme Re-administering Health Rural Gambia to Mitigate Contemporary Issues. Omar P. Jallo has the rest of that story.
World Health Day was one of the first official acts of the World Health Organization, which came into force on 7 April 1948. The first World Health Day was celebrated on 22nd July in 1949, and the date was later changed to 7 April to encourage students' participation. Pa Samba Diouf, the Gender and Health Minister of the University of the Gambia Nursing Students Association, said the day is celebrated to raise public awareness about the ongoing health issues that concern people across the world.
So our student nurses doing those researches in their community practicum. So it is necessary to give those data to the government so as to call the attention and let them know what is on ground, understanding that the time is now to react on those particular health issues.
Adama Jallo, the welfare minister of the University of the Gambia Nursing Students Association, revealed that nursing students conducted research in some rural communities and identified health concerns needing urgent government attention, hence discussion with health officials to mitigate these issues.
It's actually going to give us an opportunity and to talk to the people, that is the delegate from the health minister. Like maybe they do not have the chance to go out to this community to do certain tests or to do certain things that us have as students, because like when we look at community health, we go into the community and we analyze the things that these community people are actually going to do. Maybe those working at the ministry do not have the opportunity.
Amid the COVID-19 pandemic and pollution growing across the planet, diseases are also increasing rapidly. The World Health Organization aims to focus global attention on urgent actions needed to keep human and the planet healthy. Ismaila S. Jallo, a final year nursing student, says celebrating the day gives them the opportunity to interact and discuss health-related issues with the relevant authorities to draw their attention to some of the most important health issues.
I am a final year student, and I was part of the students who embarked on the assessment of health issue of rural Gambians. And you realize that the prevalence of these problems are high. And for today, we invited delegates from the Minister of Health and from also the public health sector. So when we share these problems with them, actually they are going to encourage them to embark in tackling these problems.
The global theme for this year's World Health Day is Our Planet, Our Health. The WHO estimates that more than 13 million deaths around the world each year are due to avoidable environmental crises. This includes the climate crisis, the single biggest health threat facing humanity. The climate crisis is also a health crisis. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The report there by Omar P. Jallo will lead us to a short commercial break, but the news continues when we return.
Marble is the Gambia's first ever election app designed to ease access to election information. The app also provides information on all past certified presidential, parliamentary, local government elections and by-election. Marble Gambia has a user-friendly interface, and thus its users will not experience any difficulties in navigating through the features of the application. Will also be able to interact with the source map to know which candidate is winning in every constituency. Luckily, Marble Gambia allows its users to receive live certified election results on election day. Download Marble Gambia today on App Store and Play Store and receive election results at your fingertip. This is brought to you by Gambia Participates and with support from National Endowment for Democracy and International Republican Institute.
Welcome! Gambian people, dañoo proud ci Gora's Boutique. Gora's Boutique si biir Gambia ubbeeti na boutique bu bees ca Tippa Garage Mall of the Gambia. Si West Africa yëpp maanaam Afrique de l'Ouest yëpp Gora's Boutique rek moo fi am lu mel nii ngir bégal clientèle bi. New shop Tippa Garage Mall of the Gambia. Gora's Boutique #1 ci West Africa. Gora's Boutique by Kadia. Gora's Boutique ana kuy wut bazin riche ñëwal Gora's Boutique. Ana kuy wut bazin power ñëwal Gora's Boutique. Ngay wut bazin original ñëwal Gora's Boutique. Ngay wut Gesner ñëwal Gora's Boutique. Bu dee fil à fil nga bëgg nag fii la fekk baax. Coton brodé fii la fekk baax. Brodé pirxe bi xale yi jigéen yëpp bëgg. Brodé pirxa ngi noonu amul fenn. Gora's Boutique moo ko am ak am classe nga bëgg Swiss Val. Brodé Autriche best quality high quality laa lay wax de. High quality maanaam high quality and unique fii rek la am Gora's Boutique. Jëlal gaaw til boo bëgg sax am na fa. Looy wut ci tisi sañse dëgg ñëwal Gora's Boutique. Jëlal number Gora's Boutique 76938223 wala 3072354 ay Gora's Boutique ak am classe.
This is the quality of elegance.
Welcome back from a short commercial break. We remind that you're watching QTV News and we're coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Now, the Dresden Banjul organization, DBO, A German non-governmental organization handed over a multi-million dollars worth of waste collection equipment to the Brikama Area Council on Wednesday to help the council address waste management and environmental challenges. Ajibintu Drame has more.
DBO, a registered Gambian German non-governmental organization, has been complementing the BAC's efforts in waste management for the past 5 years. The German organization established a multi-million dollars waste management facility at Tambana in the West Coast region, through which waste is being transformed to compost. Sherifo Sonko, chairman of Brikama Area Council, thanked DBO for their immense support.
We are also honored to receive these important items from you. As you may all know, Brikama Area Council is the most vulnerable council in the Gambia, according to the size and the population. Because if you check it, the migration affects Brikama Area Council than any other council in the Gambia. We are having urban to urban migration, rural to urban migration, which has triggered the population, and the population also goes with huge garbage, which we need to take care of it.
After 5 years of operation in the Gambia, DBO deemed it necessary to hand over the equipment to further assist Brikama Area Council, which they hope will be put to good use. Meanwhile, BAC members will be trained on compost process and how to manage the site, after which the site will be handed over to the Brikama Area Council. Aaron Leng, Deputy CEO DBO, further explains.
We have 6 to 7 permanent staff members here, and we are training them on a daily basis, but it's a bit more complicated than that. It involves a lot of strategies. If the rainy season comes, it's a different game. If we don't have enough of this type of waste, we need to use that waste. So it involves permanent changing of planning, which I don't think that we are ready for yet to hand it over. But as long as they start seeing what they need to supply on a permanent basis, then they will know how to handle it in the future. So as we only have one rainy season in a year, we need minimum 2 to 3 rainy seasons to train that process.
2 trucks, one of 20 cubic meters and another of 5 cubic meters capacity, we are handed over for waste collection at 5 specific sites, which are Welingara, Costa Road, Sukuta, Tangi and New Yundum. Waste management is a huge problem in the Gambia, including in the KM and BAC regions. Modu Jonga, the CEO of Brikama Area Council, says there is need to be an attitudinal change towards waste in the country.
To do that, we'll continue to expand as well. We'll continue to procure other waste collection vehicles in future, inshallah. People need to show responsibility, because the waste that you dispose of indiscriminately will be disposed of by the council at your own cost. So it's better, you dispose of the waste responsibly, or try to reduce the waste you generate, or reuse or recycle the waste that you generate, so that at least the resources that we use, to clear out illegal communal dump sites, can be used for other development purposes.
Indiscriminate waste dumping and management at places such as the Bakote dump site, Nyambai Forest and the Brikama Market pose as a serious threat to public health. In addition to these sites, there are other illegal and clandestine dump sites. Having handed over this equipment, it is hoped that the Brikama Area Council will be greatly assist in achieving its waste management targets. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Now, out of 251 accepted candidates for the National Assembly elections, 19 are women. In this report by QTV's Jennifer Sonko, we engage the public on women's representation in politics.
Out of 58 members of the National Assembly, 6 are women. Out of 23 cabinet ministers, there are only 4 women. Again, out of 120 ward councillors, only 8 are women. These statistics shows that the low representation of women in politics is evident from national down to local level. Currently, out of 251 accepted candidates for the National Assembly election, 19 are women. We went out to engage the public on women's representation at the National Assembly. Abdukader Sow, a vendor at the Albert Market in Banjul, believes when women are given a chance at the National Assembly, there will be huge changes.
Women should be empowered, and these 19 candidates for the National Assembly should be supported. Women are more knowledgeable about things that happen in the household. Women are very sympathetic. Women are very also confident. Therefore, I am urging my fellow Gambians to vote for the women.
Interestingly, women are also less represented at political party level. The relevant positions are usually handled by men, and women are left with the option to serve as supporters and mobilizers. Out of 18 currently registered political parties, none is led by a woman. A country like Liberia was led by a woman, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and we have all seen the difference she made during her tenure. Women should vote for women. I am voting for a woman. We should even work towards having a woman as president in the next presidential election. Amicia Jones believes that for the narrative to change, women need to vote for their fellow women.
Women should be voted in for because women are sympathetic. Right now you can see the way things are going. When you put women in power, they make sure they achieve what they want to. And if we put them there, all what they want, they will achieve it. So definitely we must come out in full force and vote for these women. Because definitely we should. It's high time that women have been given the power to lead.
A private member's bill proposing to increase the total number of seats in the Gambia's National Assembly from 58 to 71, reserving 16 seats for women, did not pass its second reading due to limited number of members present to vote. Many are of the conviction that the president should allocate his constitutionally mandated nominated seats only to women and persons with disability. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko.
And from the report there by Jennifer Sonko, we now take a look at sports news in a moment. Now, martial arts provide many physical and health benefits and gives one a great sense of discipline and achievement as you work your way through the grades up to a black belt. Over the years, the sport has gradually gained popularity in the Gambia. Don Williams looks at how Farafenni Karate Club is faring amid numerous challenges. His story is narrated by Babukar Sise.
Hey.
Doing karate helps you build a healthier body, mind and lifestyle. It is an excellent activity for children and adults and a great way to develop confidence. Karate techniques require patience and attention to detail. In Farafenni, over 70 combatants are training here, including children as young as 4. Fatoumata Faye, a karate student, spoke about how she benefited from the training.
It has changed my life because I was short-tempered and always in trouble. But I thank God that has stopped. Now, I laugh when someone troubles me. We were trained to be disciplined. We don't insult anyone, and we don't steal. I benefited from the training, and I urge the youth to join us.
Learning karate can be an advantage for girls because they are considered physically weaker than boys. With karate, they will be capable of defending themselves and fending off physical attacks. Mrs. Faye encourages youths, especially women, to learn karate.
Don't sit at home thinking that if you learn karate, men will not marry you, or you won't get a child. Not at all. We have women with black belt and yet have children. Thieves will not come to your house because you can deal with them in seconds.
Karate encourages proficiency and the keen coordination of mind and body. It is an activity in which advancing age is not a hindrance. Babukar Cham, the trainer, explains some of the challenges they are faced with.
Ñu ngi fi amé ci xalé ci lu tollu ci 73 boy amna tamen xalé jigéen yu fi nek xalé jigéen yi mom ñett rek ñoo fi nekkagum li ñu gëna sonal tamen moy place buñ traîner bobu gis nga fi ñuy traîner nu mel ay bant la sometimes duñ dé dañoo tasaaroo ñii dañoo nekk fële ñii dañoo nekk fële am ñu nekk fële parce que fii yëpp dafa nekk ay moto ak bant.
The Gambia Karate Association won gold medal at the West African Karate Championship held in Dakar, Senegal in 2001. Thus, promoting and supporting the sport could encourage more people to take up and excel in the art to represent the Gambia at international competitions. Babukar Sise, QTV News.
I'm afraid that is all we have for you in this bulletin. Do join us at 10 p.m. for more news. Until then, on behalf of the entire production team, thanks for watching.